Hello, I am excited to bring you this powerful information on the 12 biggest mistakes network marketers ever make that cause their organizational growth to be slow and painful rather than fast and fun. That's right, the 12 biggest mistakes network marketers ever make. In fact, if you avoid these mistakes, you are ready for a recruiting explosion. Grab a pen and a piece of paper, because you want to be sure to avoid the 12 biggest mistakes network marketers ever make. So, number one, most network marketers, amateurs, non-pros, people who don't understand the game, they elevate the prospect above themselves. What do I mean by that? They elevate the prospect's opinions above their own. They elevate the prospect's time above their own. They elevate the prospect's point of view above their own. You're talking to a prospect and you are giving them one-upmanship oftentimes before they get started. That is a huge mistake. Don't talk to your prospects as if their time is more valuable than your time. In fact, your prospect may make $10, $20, or $30 an hour, but if you build a network marketing organization and you build it right, your time is literally worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars an hour. Don't elevate your prospect above yourself. Don't look at them like you hope they get in, because if they do, man, I'm really going to get rich. You've got to look at it from the standpoint that it is a privilege to be on your team, and anybody that you invest your business time in, that person is going to have to qualify for that time, and it's not just something that you take lightly, and they had better not take it lightly either. So, the number one mistake, first and foremost, a novice networker elevates the prospect above themselves. In fact, that's what causes most amateur networkers to be nervous when they talk to people. That's what causes them to be apprehensive. They are overly concerned with what their prospect thinks about them, their product, their service, or their opportunity. And you need to get to the place where you understand SW, SW, SWN. Some will, some won't, someone's waiting, next. Next, next, next. You've got to get to that point in your life where you realize that, and your prospect needs to understand, not from your words, but from your music, that just because you have to have 2 people or 3 people or 7 people or 10 people, that person doesn't have to fall in the number. They don't have to be one of those people. So if you're working an opportunity where you've got to have 5 people across your front line, understand that the person you're talking to right now doesn't have to be one of those 5, and make people qualify for your time. That's the number one biggest mistake most networkers make. Number 2, they convince instead of attract. They try to convince people to join their team. They say things like, I know you'd really be good at this. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. The only time you really know if somebody would be good at this is if they step up to the plate with the bat in hand, and when they take a swing, the ball goes out of the park. You don't know that somebody would be good at it because they're a good doctor, a good lawyer, a good accountant. The only way you know somebody would be good in network marketing is when they literally step up to the plate and prove that they are indeed good at what you are doing, and that they are coachable and available in your enterprise. So, number 2 biggest mistake is convincing. So people say to me, hey Myron, I don't think this is for me, but go ahead and try to convince me. Well, you got me confused with somebody else. And I tell them this, you got me confused with somebody else. I don't convince. Either it's for you or it's not for you. If you can see it, you can be it. If you can't see it, you can't be it. I'm not interested in convincing you. I am looking for people who are looking for me. I am not interested in convincing you. I'm looking for people who are looking for me. If that's you, good for you. If it's not you, that's okay too. We can still be friends. We can still golf together. We can still go to church together. You can still be my friend, my neighbor, my brother, my sister, etc., but you don't qualify for any more of my business time. When people try to make me convince them, I don't have any convincing to do. Here's my convincing. If you think you can do it, if you think you got a better plan, hey, work that plan. So you convince versus attract. When you don't try to drag people in, they are attracted to your positivity. They are attracted to the fact that you've got confidence in yourself and the fact that you don't need them. See, you have to understand that people are not looking for needers. People are looking for leaders. And if you act like you need them, then you'll never be able to lead them, and they will never follow you. So don't talk too much. That's one of the that's one of the 12 biggest mistakes network marketers ever make. They try to convince versus attract. And when you get to the point where you get this attraction down, where you get to the place where you realize that what you have is really, really good and that you are the leader that others are looking for, as my good friend Jeff Combs says, when you get to the place in your life where you realize that you've got the cookie and that you are the leader and that they need you more than you need them, then you won't be convincing anymore and you will be attracting people. In fact, people will be calling you, asking you about your opportunity. People that you've never heard of before will be attracted to your energy that attracts people instead of trying to convince. When I think of convince, I think of somebody trying to talk somebody into something that person really doesn't want to do. When I think of attract, I think of you actually just being out there in the marketplace and attracting people by that look in your eye, the sureness in your step, the tone in your voice. It attracts other people. I used to tell people all the time in training, if you want to attract a dynamic leader, there's only one thing you have to do. Become a dynamic leader. If you want to attract people with confidence, become a person of confidence. If you want to attract people with a great work ethic, develop a great work ethic. If you want to attract somebody who is going to be a great business builder, then you become a great business builder, because in network marketing, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So go out there and be the kind of person that leaders can be attracted to. Number 3 mistake network marketers make, amateurs, they talk too much. As soon as somebody looks like they might be a little bit, quote, interested, which is a word I hate, and of course we covered that on another CD. As soon as somebody gives you a little bit of attention, you start talking. And I don't know if you remember that commercial that used to come on a couple years ago, but it was about this device that you push a button and it calls the ambulance or it calls 911, and it says, "I've fallen and I can't get up." Too many networkers need to wear a button that's connected to their upline that says, "I'm talking and I can't shut up." And the fact is, talking too much is a huge mistake that most amateurs make. They talk and talk and talk and talk and talk because they think, if I just talk long enough, this person is going to eventually going to say the right thing, and this person is going to get involved in my enterprise. Stop talking so much. Most networkers think the more I say, the more they want to hear. Well, I've got news for you. Human nature tells me the more you say, the less they want to hear, and the less you say, the more they want to hear. So you want to start working with human nature instead of working against human nature, and stop talking too much. Mistake number 4. Most networkers try to make the opportunity sound too easy. They try to make it sound easy. Oh, this is so easy, anybody could do it. This is so easy that you could do it with half your brain tied behind your back. This is so easy, it doesn't take any skill at all. All you have to do is give out these samples. All you have to do is get people on this call. All you have to do is get people to the opportunity meeting. All you have to do is, this is really easy. It's not hard at all. And you can be struggling just like me. Well, guess what, folks? Stop telling people that it's easy. Do you want people who will only do it if it's easy? Or do you want people who will step up to the plate? Do you want people who will put on a big push at the end of the month? Do you want people who will go out and talk to their friends and their family and their neighbors and cold prospects in the marketplace? Do you want people who are willing to get out of their comfort zone and step up to the plate and do something that's a little bit difficult? Or do you want somebody who's only going to do it if it's easy? Do you want people who are going to go to the conventions and to the seminars and to the Super Saturdays, or do you just want somebody who's going to do it if it's easy? I'm going to tell you something. One of the biggest mistakes network marketers ever make is they try to make it sound too easy. Oh, we've got a product that sells itself. Our opportunity is so great because we've got the best compensation plan in the industry. Our leader is the number one. Our upline is the number one intergalactic leader in the universe, and he makes more money than anybody. In fact, he makes more money than everybody else in the world. And he's only been in the business for 3 days. This is really easy. And I know I'm being kind of facetious, but folks, when you tell folks that it's easy to build a business in network marketing, you are actually sounding very much to them like I sound to you right now. You sound like somebody who's lost their mind. Don't be somebody who makes it sound easy. You cannot tell somebody that they're going to go make $100,000 a year and it's going to be easy, and they're struggling right now to make $30,000. They can't believe that. Yes, I understand it's easier to make $100,000 than it is to make $30,000, but a brand new prospect doesn't understand that. And so don't try to make it sound easy. It is simple, but it's not easy. The hardest part about it is you've got to change you. And you've got to learn some things that you don't know. And most people think they already know everything they need to know anyway. So stop trying to make it sound easy. The next thing you want to do, the next big mistake, number 5, most novice networkers try to make people feel comfortable. Stop trying to make people feel comfortable. Comfort has gotten them where they are. The comfort zone is the failure zone. And being comfortable is why they're broke and struggling in the first place. Being comfortable is why they're having a hard time in the first place. Being comfortable is what most people seek. But I'm going to tell you something. I never found great rewards being comfortable. I only found great rewards being uncomfortable temporarily so I could be comfortable long term. If you really want to get people to be comfortable, you got to make them uncomfortable. You got to rustle their feathers just a little bit. You got to challenge them. You got to make them think. You got to give them a figurative slap in the face sometimes. And I don't mean literally, but sometimes you got to make a statement that's kind of like that old commercial. You know, I don't know if it was Aqua Velva, but they'd start the commercial and they'd give the guy 2 slaps on the face. He'd say, "Thanks, I needed that." Sometimes you've got to slap people out of their mental myopia and out of their cultural hypnosis, and you do that by not making people feel comfortable. I can remember a guy named Robert one time. I was sponsoring him. I was enrolling him. And just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about, he said, "Well, I don't have the $300 I need to get started, or $500 or whatever it was. I don't even remember how much it was anymore." And I said to Robert, "How much longer do you want that to be your story? If you don't have $500 today, when are you going to have it? I mean, you're 30-something years old." And I'm not trying to be rude, Rob, but when's your story going to change? There has to come a time in your life where $500 is not a lot of money. The next day, he had the money. I made him so uncomfortable. And I may have asked him a couple of other questions, but I made him so uncomfortable with the fact that he didn't have $500 that he went out and got it, or $300 or whatever it was, that he went out and got the money. That's my point. Stop trying to make people feel comfortable. I can remember one time I was trying to get somebody to see the importance of convention. And it was a lady in my group. I said, "So, are you going to convention?" "No, I can't go. I'm going to Hawaii that weekend, or that week." I said, "Wow, that's unfortunate." "Well, if you were going, here's why you should go." And I kept saying that to her over and over and over and over again. And she changed her Hawaii trip and went to the convention. Why? Because I wasn't trying to make her feel comfortable. And here's what we do. We say things like, "Oh, that's okay. It didn't matter anyway. Oh, don't worry about it." Well, no. Look, here's the deal. Step up to the plate. If you make a commitment, hit the commitment. If you're going to commit, you got to hit. If you don't want to hit, then don't commit. But don't tell me you're going to do something and then say, "Well, I didn't do it because..." No, here's what you do. If you say you're going to do it, do it. If you say you want this really bad because you want to be able to retire, or you want to be able to bring your wife or your husband home from work, or if you want to do this so you don't have to worry about financial problems anymore, or you want to pay for the kids' college, if that's real to you, then don't try to fake me out later. Make your people step up to the plate. That's one of the importances of finding out what their goals are in the beginning, why they're in the deal in the first place, because when you do, you can hold them accountable and not make them feel comfortable. Mistake number 6. Mistake number 6 is they don't use upline support. Mistake number 6 is most amateurs don't use upline support. They say, "Well, I've been in network marketing before. I already know how to recruit. I already know how to do this." Understand this, folks. Everything you do in network marketing, you don't do it so you can get it done. You do it to set an example. You do it to demonstrate how to do it. Whether you can recruit or not, whether you're a good sponsor or not, whether you know how to present or not is not the point. The point is, are you going to follow a system that gets upline involvement? Because while you're good at recruiting, that new person that you're bringing in is listening to you and they're saying, "Wow, I could never talk that good." Instead of listening to you, get them on a call and then get them on the phone and introduce them to an upline, and then they come off the call saying, "All he did was ask me a couple questions, got me to listen to a call, and got somebody else to answer my questions for him." Man, I could do that. So use upline support. Huge mistake amateurs make. They don't use upline support. Mistake number 7, they send negatives down. What do I mean by that? They've got a problem with their upline or crossline or company, or they got their supplements and instead of having 120 pills, it's like it's supposed to have, it only had 119. I know because I take 2 every day, and I know they must have shorted me 1 because I only have 1 pill left over. Well, how do you know they didn't give you 121? That's number 1. Number 2, if you've got a problem with the company, with your upline, with customer service, with the downline, if you've got a problem with anybody, take the negatives up. Don't take the negatives down. Never complain to your downline about anything. I don't care if they're the same pin level as you. I don't care if you're a top distributor and they're a top distributor. Never take negatives down. Big mistake. Big mistake number 8 that amateurs make is they tell without asking. They tell people about the product without asking them what kind of problems they have. They tell the people about the opportunity without asking them why they would be looking at an opportunity in the first place. They tell them about the upline support. They tell them about the compensation plan. They tell them about all this stuff that they're interested in because they know everybody else in the world is going to be just as excited about this as they are, instead of asking, why would you look at an opportunity in the first place? What was it that caused you to look at this opportunity? If you have a nutritional line, so what kind of health challenges, if any, do you have? Really, what other challenges do you have? Really, well, what about this, this, or this? If you've got a nutritional business, or if you sell legal services, you might say, well, have you ever thought about what you would do if somebody stole your identity? Or have you ever thought about what you would do if you were in an accident and needed to find an attorney? How would you know you would get a good one? Start asking them questions about them. Try to find the hot buttons, and if you will ask enough questions, the average prospect will tell you everything you need to know to enroll them in your enterprise. So don't tell without asking. That's amateur mistake number 8. Amateur mistake number 9 is they edify the prospect instead of the upline. Huge, huge, huge mistake. They edify the prospect instead of the upline. Huge mistake. When they introduce somebody on a 3-way call, by the way, I'm going to be creating an ebook that's called Super Speed Sponsoring Success Scripts. It should be out no later than July 1st, 2005. No later than July 1st, 2005. And it's going to be Super Speed Sponsoring Success Scripts. And Super Speed Sponsoring Success Scripts will teach you everything to say, what to say, how to say it, from what you say to yourself to what you say to the prospect to get them to evaluate it in the first place, what to say with them to get them on the phone with the upline, what to say when you introduce them to the upline, what to say to that prospect when you are the upline. It's going to have everything in it you need to build an organization fast. It's going to be an ebook that's going to be scripts, what to say and how to say it. So, anyway, having said that, don't edify the prospect when you introduce them to the upline. I've had people do this to me in the past. Hello, Myron. I've got my best friend, Billy Bob, on the phone. Billy Bob and I go all the way back to the 2nd grade. In fact, he and I have been best friends ever since then. This guy is an awesome individual, and he really loves to have a lot of fun, and I think he might really be good in this business, so you really make sure you treat him good. Billy Bob, this is Myron. Sirens should go off in your brain. The alarm should go off. No, no, no. Never introduce someone like that. When you introduce Billy Bob to the upline, you say, Billy Bob, I am about to introduce you to an individual who is dynamic. This person is documented. They know all the facts. They've got a heart as big as Texas, and they love helping people. This person loves to have fun and has positioned himself in a very short period of time on the other side of money. This is somebody you really want to get to know. His name is Mr. Myron Golden. By the way, Myron, this is Billy Bob. Billy Bob just listened to the call. And then you let Myron take over. Or you let your upline take over. Folks, that's how you introduce somebody to an upline on a 3-way call. One big mistake, mistake number 9 that most networkers make, is they edify the prospect instead of the upline. Mistake number 10. is they interrupt their upline on a three-way call. Now, this one to me is like fingernails on a chalkboard. They say, oh, you forgot to tell them about this. Oh, make sure you tell them about this. So because the upline doesn't talk as much as they do, they're very uncomfortable, and the upline is making their prospect a little uncomfortable, so they try to ease some of that pressure that the prospect is feeling, because that prospect has to think now, and they have to think about where they are and where they want to go. And so the downline member or the team member tries to get that person back in a level of comfort, and they interrupt the upline. Now, uplines out there, I've got one suggestion for you. When your downline team member interrupts you in the middle of talking to a prospect for them, just hang up the phone and let them finish the call. They will only do it once. They will not do it twice. They will only do it once. So mistake number 10 is interrupting the upline on a three-way call or in a closing situation after a business briefing. Huge, huge mistake. Number 11. Most people, novice networkers, look for needers instead of leaders. This person really needs my product. This person really needs my opportunity. This person needs a job. This person needs to make some money. I'm going to recruit them into my organization, and I'm going to save them from all their woes. You can't save them from all their woes because they are their woes. And every place they go, they take themselves with them. And I don't want to sound harsh or rude or arrogant, but the fact is there's a reason that people are struggling. And you say, all of a sudden, you're going to fix them with an opportunity that you have to have some people skill, you have to have some business acumen, and all of a sudden, you're going to fix them. And you're going to fix them because they need it. They need my product, they need my service, they need my opportunity, they need this compensation plan, they need our upline leadership, they need us, they need me. I need people that need me. People are not looking for people to help them with their needs. People are looking for someone to lead them, to take them by the hand, as I like to call it, and lead them into the financial promised land. Stop looking for needers. Start looking for leaders. And go get 10 no's in a row. If you don't know what that is, you'll find out what 10 no's in a row are when my tape series, Bigger, Better, Faster Network Marketing, gets to you. If you don't have that tape series yet, I strongly urge you to go to www.biggerbetterfastermlm.com and order that series today. So don't interrupt the upline. Don't look for needers, look for leaders. And the 12th biggest mistake that network marketers ever make is they don't spend enough time, enough energy, or enough effort promoting events. Your business is built from event to event. And I'm going to tell you something, I don't know why it is, but your people are not going to hear you like they're going to hear somebody else. I heard a gentleman say one time, people need to hear things 7 different ways, 7 different times from 7 different people before they get it. Every event your company has, every event your team has, you need to attend and promote those events. It is the single biggest and best and highest use of your time. Get out there and attend and promote events. Get as many people as possible to the events. And if you do, your income will catapult. It will skyrocket. It will literally go through the roof. Attend and promote events. And eventually, you need to be having your own events, and you need to get people like me, and people like my good friend Jerry Clark, people like Jeffrey Combs, Ellie Drake, and many other trainers in the network marketing industry to come in and do events for your team. Get 50 of your team members together and call me, and I'll come do a training for you. And it'll be one of the best trainings you've ever had. And I'll show you how to take that event and promote it to the next event, and you'll get 50 people. Take that 50 people to 100 people, and then the 100 to 200, and we'll show you how to build a booming network marketing organization. And then take gobs of people to your company convention, and before you know it, your organization will have exploded through the stratosphere. So mistake number 12 is they don't spend enough time, effort, or energy attending and promoting functions. I strongly urge you to use that as the best and highest use of your time. I've got a good friend in Pennsylvania who is $1 million a year income earner, who's kind of shy, and he's not a great in front of people, but this guy makes over $1 million a year, and his number one secret to his success is attending and promoting events. He gets hundreds, in the beginning he got hundreds of people to attend his company functions, and by doing so, his organization exploded through the stratosphere. So that's what I'm going to urge you to do. Get people to attend and promote your functions and to attend and promote your events, and you will be glad you did. Having said that, I hope that you have enjoyed this recording on the 12 biggest mistakes network marketers ever make that makes their organizational growth slow and painful rather than fast and fun. If you want to call me to do an event, my name is Myron Golden. My toll-free number is 877-655-5663. When my automated office assistant picks up, press the number 1, say your name, and my automated office assistant will endeavor to find me. If my automated assistant doesn't find me, just leave a message and I will get back with you. Or you can email me at myrongolden@myrongolden.com. Again, my email address is myrongolden@myrongolden.com, and my toll-free number is 877-655-5663. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the top instead of from the top. You deserve the best.